Buddy Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern, Sundays 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Tuesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. How do we ever? Lance Storm is going to be joining us here today. So we'll talk some TNA news, including next week. It is the NXT TNA Invasion show, which, of course, is going head-to-head with a Tuesday edition of Dynamite. The Tuesday Night Wars are back, and the NXT show has an NXT versus TNA, 2 Survivor Series matches, one for the men, one for the women. We'll tell you about that. Last night, of course, was Raw. We'll give you the Raw report. We got Dynamite's 6th anniversary 2.5-hour show coming up tomorrow. NXT, of course, is tonight, where we'll get the teams chosen for this invasion. And then we've got a lot of news on John Cena's final match and Hiroshi Tanahashi's final match. And the Blood and Guts date and location. We actually have it. And some notes, a lot of notes, actually, from Monday Night Raw. So if you'd like to join us here today, you can send a text message, 425-780-7566, whatever's on your mind. If you want to email, it's f4wonline@gmail.com. I am f4wonline on Threads, Instagram, and Cameo, $10 cameos. And I'm at Bryan Alvarez on X and Blue Sky. So a lot to get into with Lance after the break. We'll get into all of the news, the Raw report, and plenty more. So stick around for that, everybody. And also, what's coming up later on tonight, only for subscribers. So we'll kick it off after the break. Wrestling Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Granny, what have you got today?
Okay, everybody be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Google, tell us a joke.
What's the most musical part of a turkey? The drumsticks.
Ba-da-cha.
Hey, Google, you suck.
Well, I am still learning. What should we fix?
The guilt in the response.
Hey, Google, that's enough. Hey, Google.
Shut your hole.
Hey, Google.
Hi there, I'm listening.
Oh, jeez.
How can I help today?
Hey, Google. Shut up.
How can I be of service?
No, that won't quit.
God.
Hey, Google. No more. Stop.
This is how the war with the robots begins.
Name the hip-hop group that asked the question, are you down with OPP in 1992?
Granny, I will pay you $100 to read that again, please.
Yeah, can you read more?
Name the hip-hop group that asked the question, are you down with O period, P period, P period in 1992?
You somehow made it better. Oh, period. P
Stop the show
period.
now. We have peaked.
P period.
Please send those edits to Brian's email.
Are you down with O period, P period, P period? On the show The Big Bang Theory, Leonard and Sheldon are both physicists. What is there? At what?
What the hell just happened right there?
Physicists,
Yes.
Physicists?
Yes.
Yeah. I lost my track.
you lost your crack.
You were at Sisyphus.
In what city was Nipar
Brooks.
Shakur shot and killed?
Excuse me, say that again.
In what city was Tupac?
Two-pack. Vegas.
Check.
Vegas Strip.
Yep.
Join us!
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, we got a trip to the Vegas Strip, by
Yeah.
the way.
You can get shot, too.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Google, take a nap. Hey, Google, wake up. Hey, Google, are you awake?
Here's a YouTube music station called Are You Awake?
Hey, Google, stop.
We are back on the show. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm is joining us here today. And we got a lot to talk about, Lance. And tonight, it is the debut on the Bryan and Vinny Show. Only for subscribers, WrestlingObserver.com, video.f4wonline.com. You can also grab the podcast on Spotify, f4wonline.com/Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, f4wonline.com/Apple. Lots of options here. YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, all just $9.99. But starting tonight, every Tuesday on the Bryan and Vinny Show, it will be 20 years ago on TNA Impact Wrestling. The alleged glory days of the original TNA, 2005 to, we'll see how long we go, 2008, 2010. But anyway, that's starting tonight. And so what show are we watching? The one from 20 years ago this week. The debut on Spike TV. These are all available on TNA Plus. Maybe other places as well. But anyway, you can check it out tonight. And Lance has already seen the first episode. Lance, no spoilers, but how was it?
I enjoyed it. It definitely lived up to the name, total nonstop action. And also, too, it is back to the six-sided ring days, if you're nostalgic for that. And also, too, if you're considering getting TNA Plus to follow along, if you get the premium subscription level, you will also be able to see Bound for Glory.
That's right.
Biggest show of the year coming up in smidgen over 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk about the whole Bound
less
for...
than 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll talk the lineup here in a second. But yes, we did this with the Monday Night Wars. It was actually 19 years ago because we couldn't wait. 19 years ago on Raw and Nitro. That ended when WCW died, obviously. So now it is 20 years ago on TNA Impact Wrestling. The days of Samoa Joe and every time I list names, people are like, "Oh, they're not there for another what?" There's a lot of names and a lot of memories that people romanticize. So we're going to tell you if you're right or wrong tonight. Bryan and Vinny Show, only for subscribers. WrestlingObserver.com, video.f4wonline.com if you want to watch the video, as well as f4wonline.com/Spotify, f4wonline.com/Apple.
There's a lot of current wrestling producers wrestling on this show.
There
Quite a few
sure
of them.
are. Yeah, quite the thing we'll look back on starting tonight. All right, couple of notes. John Cena's final match. We've actually been talking about this for quite a while now. It has been confirmed that it will be Saturday, December 13th. At Monumental Sports and Entertainment's Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C. News was announced by WWE and Triple H on Tuesday. WrestleVotes had talked about it earlier this month. We've actually been talking about it for a long time. They had wanted to go head-to-head with the AEW World's End show at the end of December, and they couldn't get it done. So instead, it will be Washington, D.C., and we do not know an opponent yet. One of the big questions is, will Donald Trump be there? Will Vince McMahon be there? It's certainly something that has been discussed internally. I don't know if either will be there, but that's it. Saturday, December 13th, they outbid, I guess, Boston for the final match. And that's where John Cena's last match is going to be.
Couldn't get it on the White House grounds like UFC?
Apparently not that day. He might have had something to do. Might have been busy. It's also December.
Could be some snow, yeah.
Not sure that's a good idea. We also know more about Tanahashi's final match. It will be January 4th at the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom 20. And Tanahashi says, we don't have an opponent yet, but he will also be doing a one-on-one singles match for his final match. He says, I like wrestling singles matches most of all. My debut is a singles match. I want my last to be a singles match. Every January 4th, I change my costume up. But this year, January 4th will be my last, so it'll be a new costume just for that one match. He says, everybody ready to start trying to figure this out? He wants to come full circle with his last opponent, but stopped short of revealing the identity. I want there to be a connection, he said. I want to come full circle in a sense. That's all I'll say. So who do you think it's going to be?
Who was his first Tokyo Dome opponent?
I'd have to go back and look, actually.
Or his first match, if that's even possible, depending on who it was.
So that's going to be January 4th, as well as a debut of Aaron Wolf, New Japan signee, Olympic gold medalist, making his in-ring debut at Wrestle Kingdom 20. You think they'll change the name of the Japanese gold medalist when he debuts?
I'm guessing not.
Interesting. We've also got the date and the location of Blood and Guts. They did the challenge on Collision, but they didn't tell us anything else. Well, now we know. They announced on Tuesday that Blood and Guts, the women's version, is going to be Wednesday, November 12th, Greensboro, North Carolina. The former Greensboro Coliseum, now the First Horizon Coliseum. It'll be the most violent match, according to AEW. Tickets go on sale on October 3rd, although early access premium seating starts tomorrow. They haven't actually announced it's the women's version. They've only announced that is where Blood and Guts is going to take place. But I think that we can safely say that that is the women's edition of the show. So then we've got NXT and Dynamite coming up tomorrow night. NXT tonight has Lash Legend and Jada Parker. They haven't added anything else, by the way. We only have 2 things announced for the show. And also, Ava and Santino will choose their teams for the NXT invasion. According to Ava, when the invasion occurred last week, that 90-second brawl, she said that she sat down with Santino Marella and they talked for hours to come up with the idea of this invasion show next week. So I can only imagine how long it's going to take for Ava and Santino to come up with the teams for this Survivor Series event. They probably should get started now. They want it done by showtime. Who would you put on these teams? Who would you make? Make a men's and women's Survivor Series team, Lance, from TNA.
Boy, I definitely strongly favor the system with Moose, Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Dango gets us 4. Put Santana in there for 5 if we can get Trick on the other side.
Women?
Women, I think there was only about 5 that did invade. We've got the Angel Warriors were there for sure. We can't include our champion because she's from TNA. We definitely have to have Indy, the Angel Warriors, and perhaps...
Did you not see the invasion with WCW and WWF? You can put your champion on the women's...
No, I can't because she's an NXT wrestler.
I know, but we had WCW wrestlers on the WWF side and WWF wrestlers on the WCW side when they did that goofy invasion pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen here. But yeah, Indy, Angel Warriors, and either the Elegance duo or the Inspiration duo.
All right, well, we're going to talk more about this after the break. Bound for Glory, a lot of news, Raw, and more. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something. And it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. I looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It's never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what's going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Lose my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Let's see. So, Tanahashi's first opponent ever was Togi Makabe. I don't think that's a good final match.
Is he still active?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it'd be a good
follow
match.
New Japan.
His first Dome show would have been against Manabu Nakanishi. I don't think that's going to be his final match. His first IWGP title win at the Dome was Muto. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the options are... I actually think if they could get it done, the most likely opponent would actually be Shinsuke Nakamura. So...
that would be a tough one to pull, I would think, with their AEW connection.
It would. I mean, you have the original Three Musketeers, Tanahashi, Nakamura, and Shibata. I guess it could be Shibata. You could do Shibata. So, I think Shibata is probably the most likely opponent.
Is Shibata allowed to wrestle in New Japan?
Actually, he's not. It would have to be... well, that's a good question. You guys know the Shibata story? Shibata did a match with Okada, and he did a clunking headbutt and literally almost died. So he couldn't wrestle for years, and they would not clear him to wrestle. So finally, they allowed him to do an exhibition match where he was not allowed to take any bumps. He could only do grappling. And I think the first one, I'm not sure. I think the first one went off without a hitch, but then they did it a second time. And the second time, Shibata just decided, screw that. I'm going to do whatever I want. And he went out there and he did a full-on match. He wasn't supposed to. And that was the end of him in New Japan. So he signed with AEW, and AEW cleared him. But to this day, they will not clear Shibata. So the only way that you could do Shibata and Tanahashi is they would have to trust him to do an exhibition match and not go into business for himself. So I don't think, actually, now that I think about it, that ain't going to happen either. So it ain't going to be Nakanishi. It ain't going to be Muto. It ain't going to be Shibata. It probably is not going to be Shinsuke unless, I don't even know how they could make that work. And that leaves Togi Makabe. I don't know. I don't know, man. So, I guess we'll see. All right. What's up with Ash by Elegance? Do we know anything yet?
You know as much as I do.
You think she's done, like, permanently?
I have no idea. She's stepping away from in-ring competition, I think is the wording I heard, and other than that, I have no idea. I gave her a hug and wished her well for whatever it was, but whatever it is, it seems to be her business and hers alone.
All right. We got the Dynamite 6th anniversary coming up on Wednesday. Moxley, Claudio, Daniel Garcia versus Hangman Page, Joe, and Hobbs. Statlander and Darby versus Marina and Wheeler. Kyle Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. Return of the Jurassic Express. Kenny Omega and Brodito versus the Young Bucks. And Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. And the return of Tony Storm. So that's coming up for the 6th anniversary Dynamite. That show is 2.5 hours long. And it's the go-home show for what they are calling Battle of the Belts. Going head-to-head with NXT TNA Invasion.
They're bringing back Battle of the Belts.
AEW is doing Battle of the Belts. And I guess we'll see what that means.
Will there be belts on it this time?
That's the question. I mean, they've done a lot of these shows before where I think once they only had one and it was a non-title, or they had a non-title on a title. It's Title Tuesday, they're calling it. Title Tuesday, not Battle of the Belts. Although, what the hell's the difference, guys? Title Tuesday, Battle of the Belts? It's all the same. There should be a bunch of belts on the line.
One draws more attention to the Tuesday date.
That's true, but other than that, what you're telling me is there's going to be belts on the line.
Well, they have enough of them, as does everybody. I'm not singling them out.
So, I mean, we could have... let's see what we could have looking at the lineup for Wednesday. We could have somebody pin Bandito or Brody King to set up a title match. Maybe the Young Bucks will pin Brody or Bandito, and then we have Young Bucks versus Bandito and Brody for the tag team titles next week. Tony Storm could make a challenge for a title upon her return. And I don't anticipate it happening. But I guess if you really wanted to, Orange Cassidy could beat Fletcher for the title, and then Fletcher wins it back on Tuesday. They almost never, ever do stuff like that. But you know what? Sometimes you got to do something different to shake things up and
I would
surprise
not be a fan
people
of that.
in a good way. I don't mind him doing it once every 5 years.
I don't want Luger to pin Hogan and then 3 days later just have him give back. It's like, that's just a waste.
Well, I don't know if
want
Orange
them to
is
do that with
Luger.
Orange.
I mean, he's over, but I don't know if he's Luger. All right, then Friday we got Randy Orton and Cody versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker just announced. And I think nothing... Actually, we do have another thing announced. For Crown Jewel, they've added Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Kabuki Warriors. We pretty much already knew that. So Crown Jewel Perth, which, by the way, there's no WrestleTix update on Crown Jewel Perth. I don't know if they have a Like, you can't actually see a seating chart or what the deal is. But we have absolutely no idea if the show is doing well. I presume it is, but we don't know. We got Cody versus Seth, WWE versus World Champion for the men's crown jewel title. We've got Tiffany versus Stephanie for the women's crown jewel title. We got John Cena versus AJ Styles and Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors. So that's coming up on October 11th, which just happens to be the day before Bound for Glory. And Bound for Glory's got Trick versus Mike Santana for the TNA World title. It's all coming down to this, everybody. I told you guys, I predicted. When everybody thought, oh my God, I can't believe they beat Mike Santana in his I don't know if you'd call it his hometown, but
Well, they beat Joe Hendry in a 3-way.
yeah. But still, he didn't win that match. Everybody thought for sure he was going to win. He's got to win. It's his time. I said, no, they're going to do it in a singles match at Bound for Glory. People got on me. Well, it's happening. And I think he's beaten Trick. If not, I'm going to go off.
There was going to be a rant.
Yeah. And we've got the Hardys versus Team 3D. You'll be stunned to hear it is a tables match for the TNA Tag Team titles. They're billing this as the last great tag team match. I don't know about that one. We got Kalani Jordan against Indy Hartwell for the Knockouts title. Yes, Kalani Jordan is the champion. We have got Leon Slater against Javon Evans for the X Division title.
Your boy.
Oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll either laugh or cry when Santana beats Trick and Indy beats Kalani, and then Javon's the guy that's got to do the job. You know it's coming.
It'll be a heck of a match.
Oh, it'll be an awesome match. Hardcore War with Ali, Agent Zero. Who's Agent Zero?
He's Agent Zero. He's Ali's #1 Secret Service guy.
Okay. Jason Hotch, John Schuyler, and Tasha Steeles against Eddie Edwards, Moose, Brian Myers, JDC, and Alicia Edwards. And yes, Alicia, I'm sorry, every time. And there is a Call Your Shot gauntlet match. Tell us what that is.
That is the Royal Rumble-esque, I believe, gauntlet. And the winner gets the Call Your Shot gauntlet trophy, which is the TNA equivalent of the Money in the Bank type situation. And, yeah.
Can you cash in at any time, or do you have to call your shot?
Well, cashing in is calling your shot.
Okay, so you don't have to give Tony Khan a week in advance?
We don't have to tell Tony Khan anything.
Okay.
We can just do whatever we want.
All right.
And it has been determined, there was a battle royal on Impact last week, that #1 in the gauntlet, which is the worst spot, is Lei Ying Lee, and the coveted #20 spot went to Mance Warner.
Mance Warner. So the Call Your Shot gauntlet is intergender?
Yes.
Okay, so there's not one for the men and one for the women.
Nope.
Wow. Sucks for Lei Ying Lee.
She's got a long road ahead of her.
Yeah. But good old Manser, that's a man that deserves a #20 spot.
Well, there was a battle royal on Impact. The final two people got down to the final two people, and the second last person got the 1 spot, and the winner got the 20 spot.
Oh, so they were the final two.
They were the final two, and then it gets really important to win after that.
Man. All right. Well, that's Bound for Glory, and it is coming up on October 12th.
Lowell, Massachusetts.
Lowell, Massachusetts. Correct. Tickets available. Where? I don't even know where anymore.
I'm assuming Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. All right. Back in a moment with the Raw Report, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Let's do this unnecessary censorship.
Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just your ass.
That was terrible. Horrible. They weren't the Heart Foundation. They weren't the British Bulldogs, okay? They're two geeks. And this celebration these guys did.
Oh.
I mean, they're like, Sean, give me brother! Yeah!
A place like that?
You two dorks. That's what you did! Why are you so excited?
Because they're awesome.
Okay. That was better than the first one.
It picked up at the end there.
Chaos.
Unnecessary censorship.
He beat him. And 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 he beat him. I'm sweating.
Time to stop.
And he beat him.
Was this edited?
And then he beat him. And he beat him.
so.
I actually wore that shirt. It just says he beat him. He beat him. He beat him all the way down. Like,
All the way down, you say?
I dropped her off at camp, and the camp counselor just looks at me. She goes, "He beat him and beat him." I was like, "Gag gift."
Brian, would you for me again this week? It's too hot to do much.
That's true. It is too hot to do much.
I guess I just better do it because it came up for me.
I'll wait.
It won't come up again. It's pretty short, so I'll just do it. Yeah. Now I gotta find it back.
Okay.
It isn't
I'm
coming
gonna
up.
kill you. How about you just it? Okay.
Ouch.
What else we got, Vinny? I hope that Granny licks her finger to turn the page. Lick that finger. There'll be
Page
an
2.
unnecessary censorship coming up. Lick that. Okay, let's see. Unnecessary censorship.
So Oro Ethan after the match and gets his ass just into the earth.
Vinny.
And Ethan is leaving, holding his all confident. And then Oro just comes back to life, and now he Ethan's ass.
Oro jumps him from behind.
Yep.
Then he his ass after cheap shotting the guy. Haha. That was interesting. That's quite unnecessary. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm joining us here today. Lance, what'd you think about Raw?
On the whole, I enjoyed it. And actually, and you were right, I should give you credit.
Thank you.
Joe Tess is growing on me.
I'm telling you.
I'm getting used to his voice, and I like his dynamic with Wade, and yeah, he's growing on me for sure.
What were the highlights of the show?
Boy, I enjoyed Dom and Rusev. I'm trying to think what other. There was the big women's angle. There was the big angle at the end. I'm trying to think what else. My brain is pulling a blank.
Any lowlights?
I don't know if I'd call it a low light, but it's a pet peeve of mine. I really dislike the champion versus champion, and not as the match as a concept, just the fact that it draws attention to the fact that you have two world champions and in essence don't have one. I don't think it's talked enough about that the Seattle WrestleMania tanked, and it was the first WrestleMania that had two world titles on it rather than a true authentic main event. And for the most part, business declined for the following 20 years. And the final turnaround of business was when they unified the damn titles with Roman Reigns, and we had stories of everyone chasing the one true world champion. And since adding a second world title again, the general consensus is business has cooled somewhat, because if two men can stand in the ring and argue over who is in fact the top guy. I'm like, well, that's what a world title is supposed to determine, and we don't really have a means to do that. And I don't like 2 world titles, and I think that segment, while good, just draws attention to the fact that there isn't really a world champion, men or women, in WWE.
Well, that's a fine theory, but business actually they're more lucrative right now than they've ever been.
Well, yes,
and
but
they have
that's
2 titles.
Television deals and marketing. That isn't the
and
actual
ticket
product.
sales.
Ticket sales aren't better than they were when Roman was the singular champion.
I think they actually
They've
are.
jacked prices, maybe, but
they're doing as good.
they're
or
doing
better.
great. But they're riding the wave of previous. Which, if you read your own book, Death
Brother.
of WCW, you cover greatly on how you downplay people that said WCW was doing fine because business was up, and it was because they were riding a previous wave. And again, I'm not saying they're in trouble. I'm saying they were better when the main event was that babyface chasing the single world champion. Cody's story was after that one champion. Drew chasing Roman. Sammy chasing Roman. That meant more.
Well, I could not disagree stronger that the 20 years that WWE sucked was because they had 2 belts. It sucked because it sucked. It sucked up and down the show. It wasn't because they had 2 belts. Plus, they had 2 brands anyway, so it wasn't like they had one brand with everybody fighting over 2 titles. Each brand had their own title. Every
former wrestling fan friend I had, whenever we talked wrestling, they would ask who the champ is. And as soon as I had to explain, well, there's 2 now, their eyes glassed over and they didn't care and they never asked again.
This is not the main.
It's not the sole issue, but it is an issue.
I think
the
it's
whole
just irritating
point of
to you.
sport is to determine who is best, and when that sport has no means by which to determine that, it is not ideal.
Well, I think the bigger issue is how bad it sucked during that period. And I will say my one thing that I don't like about the 2 belts is how can you have 2 belts and one of them is called the undisputed belt? That actually does irritate me.
They stood in the ring
It's not
disputing
undisputed. There's 2 belts. If you want to say there's a WWE champion and there's a world champion, well, that's fine. But you can't call one of them the undisputed championship. And then, that part is stupid.
Have a promo where someone disputes it.
It's ridiculous. That I agree with. So, though the show opened, I don't care what anybody says. Do you understand? This Asuka, Kairi, Rhea, Io storyline is the best current storyline in WWE right now. And 3 of the people, at least on television, barely speaking in English. And the funny thing is Asuka actually speaks really good English. But for this storyline, she's not speaking good English, and they're putting subtitles on the screen. And I just watched this, and I just think, in 1,000 years, this idiot Vince would never have done a main event storyline where 3 of the 4 individuals involved either barely speak English or are using subtitles. But here we are. And not only that, it's the best storyline they've got. So,
and not a single person in the match is American.
Rhea comes out, and she demands the Kabuki Warriors come down to the ring, but Io comes out instead. And Io's all sad. She says, "They broke my heart. You were right, but they are my family. I still love them." And Kairi and Asuka appear on the screen. And Asuka says, "Io, I taught you everything you know. I mentored you. I paved the way for you. Rhea is not your family. I made you who you are. You became a champion because of me. I am willing to forgive you because I love you. Apologize to me. Be like Kairi. And you can both still be my students." And Kairi says, "Io, we can be a family again." And Asuka says, "For Rhea, it's just too late." And Rhea tells her to go to hell. And she told Io, "You got to trust me. I've been burned by my family before." And then Io says, "I'm sorry, I need time." And so she leaves. And Asuka and Kairi hit the ring from behind. They attack Rhea. Io in the aisle doesn't know what to do, but she finally hits the ring. And she yanks Asuka off. Kairi gets between them. Asuka missed Io. And then there's a big schmoz, and Asuka tries a kick and misses Rhea by a mile, but she sold it anyway. And Rhea ends up... well, first Asuka and Kairi hit back fist. Kairi hits the big elbow. And this was a great angle. And throughout the show, they added little bits to it. And I just think everybody... Yes, Io is a little bit over the top with her acting. But, like, the story is so great, I don't care. Like, I'll accept it in this case, which I won't later in the show.
And the match should be absolutely fantastic.
Yes. Dom and Rusev for the Intercontinental title. Just kind of there early. But then Dom kicked out of the Mashka kick and the place like went nuts. And then they do the Eddie Guerrero bump where Dom tries to hit Rusev with the belt, but Rusev doesn't sell it. So Dom throws him the belt and takes a bump, but the ref's looking right at him when he does it. And I was like, no, what are you doing? So the ref goes to get rid of the belt. Dom goes to argue with him. Rusev goes up behind. Dom hits a mule kick, rolls up Rusev, grabs his tights, gets the pin, and gets the biggest babyface pop of the entire night.
Mule kick to the man parts.
This guy, all I had to hear for years about how much Dom sucked. He was never going to make it. Nepo, the whole shebang. This freaking guy is over, and he's awesome.
He's good.
And, yeah, he is a big star. We had LA Knight meeting with Adam Pearce, and they set up LA Knight versus Kofi for later. Got a Seth versus Cody, champion versus champion video package. This was so weird because the video package is how we don't really like each other, but we respect each other. And then later in the show, they come out into the ring and, like, they hate each other. And they appear to have no respect for each other whatsoever. Raquel faced Bayley. Roxanne interfered. Bayley lost. Earlier, Bayley had said, Lyra, I can't win without you out there. And Lyra's like, I can't trust you. I'm not going out there again. So she loses, and then the heels beat down Bayley. Lyra's music hits. She comes down to make the save. And like I talked about last night with Dave, all that controversy this week with Gail Kim and Riho and how people are dressed in wrestling. Lyra hits the ring in a short skirt. It's flying up all over the place. They are trying so hard not to film this. And I was like, what timing?
I think she had shorts on underneath.
I think
the
she
skirt,
did,
though.
but like I was told the director had no idea what to do. Like he didn't know if she was in shorts or a skirt, and he was just like, anyway.
Because there are a lot of women's short skirts that actually have shorts built in underneath, and I think she had those. The director may not have known it.
I don't think he did, but I think she did wear that. But then we had Jey Uso backstage with Jimmy. Jimmy says, "Why'd you walk out on me last week? I need your help." Jey said, "Helping LA Knight is getting us nowhere. Cost us a match at Mania. Why are you helping this guy?" And Jimmy goes, "I help everybody." Jey says, "No, stop it. Stop helping." He goes, "I took out LA. If I'd done more of that, I'd have been world champion right now, something you don't know nothing about." And Jimmy's all taken back, and Jey says, "I'm sorry, let's just go take these bronze out tonight. I love you." And he heads to the ring, and Jimmy is not happy. So WrestlePalooza, not WrestleMania. These frickin' names. God. So Io's cleaning up backstage, and Kyrie shows up, and Io says, "Get away from me." And Kyrie says, "I just want to talk. We can still be a family. It's not too late. Just go apologize to Asuka. She'll forgive you." And Io's aghast, and she says, "Get away from me. Leave me alone." So Kyrie starts crying, and she gives Io a crumpled up picture of the three of them together. Heart-wrenching and incredible. We had LA Knight beating Kofi Kingston. Kofi got walloped right in the head on accident in this match with a accidental knee as they're doing a rope run spot. But he wasn't on the list afterwards, the medical list, so apparently he's all right.
He was stumbling. I hope he's all right.
It did not look good, but apparently he's all right. We had Becky and Maxine doing an argument backstage, and then Seth came up, and he goes down to the ring, and him and Cody just went on, and
so did the crowd.
It's kind of one of those deals where, like, I didn't care anymore about the match when this was over. It was just so much talking. They don't like each other. It was just, okay. I feel this was unneeded. I mean, both guys, like, it was one of those things where, you know, Cody was really good. Seth was really good. They just didn't say anything that I cared about, which is like the point, right?
Well, it's the problem with these matches because it's a one-off, and then they both have to go on their way with their own feuds. So it's like, what else can you say besides what they hit their very first promo, which was quite good, of wanting to be the alpha of the two? It's like they made their case. It's like, what else do you do?
They set up the tag match with Asuka and Kyrie versus Rhea and Io for Crown Jewel. We had AJ and Dragon Lee beating Los Americanos, Bravo and Rayo, the former Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And AJ ended up getting the big win. He's facing John Cena at the show. And
the pre-match promos were so awkward.
They were quite awkward. I think this is all going to end when Bravo, Rayo, and Ludwig all end up getting unmasked. And then they reform Imperium. That's where I think this is going. But I think it's a ways down the road.
The thing that bothered me, because I'm an idiot, is that it's El Grande Americano. They are all together Los Americanos. So it should be Bravo Americano and Rayo Americano.
That's what
they've
they trademarked.
never once ever said those two full names.
I think they trademarked it like very recently, so I think they'll probably do it next week. And then the main event was Braun and the Usos, which the Usos won, beating Braun Breaker after Roman Reigns returned and ran roughshod. And we'll talk about the post-match after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have it in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is they been ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't.
Let me in! Let me in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. So Roman returned on Raw. Place went crazy. And then at the very end of the show, Roman and Jay shook hands. Roman had been given Jay advice before he was hospitalized. And that was, you just got to go out there, forget everybody. Go out there and just take it. And so he was very proud of Jay for doing so. So he's giving him this big pep talk. He's firing him up. And they have both guys face to face. But in the background,
It's Jimmy.
you can see Jimmy. And he's great. He's just watching these guys and just shaking his head. God, look at these two idiots. So they've been teasing big that Jay is going to turn heel.
But it's going to be Jimmy.
But it may end up being Jimmy, is what it looks like. Because they ain't turning Roman heel. I don't think that's happening.
God, I hope not.
Roman and Jay turning heel, I think, would be a bad idea. So Jimmy could turn heel and end up with Seth's crew. Could use 4 of them. So a lot of things you could do. But he's not happy with how this is going down. So I thought it was a pretty good episode of Raw altogether. And we'll be talking about the TNA show, or the NXT show, which is basically a TNA show now. Tomorrow on the show with Tom, after Ava and Santino choose their teams. Don't forget tonight, Bryan and Vinny's show. It'll be 20 years ago on TNA Impact Wrestling. So just the week of October 1st, 2005. It'll always be easy to find. You just have to go back 20 years, just like we did with Raw and Nitro. So we're going to kick that off tonight and do it every Tuesday. WrestlingObserver.com, video.f4wonline.com, also f4wonline.com/Spotify or f4wonline.com/Apple. So check that out tonight, everybody. And that is it from here. So thanks, Lance. Thanks, all of you listening. My Twitch homies. Those of you in the YouTube chat, everybody at Sports Byline. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.